Alright, hello, this is Abe Blinken, and this is my Tempest Rush Demonic Essence Farming Guide. So first, let's go over the gear. This is my Scorn. Uh, your goal on this is just to get lifesteal on it. Make sure the critical hit damage is high enough, because that's the main factor in DPS when it comes to cheap Scorns. You should be able to get, find a really high critical hit damage one for cheap. Like someone dumber will put it up for below market price. For your gloves, you're going to want a pair of Dex Vite gloves with critical hit chance and critical hit damage. Make sure both stats are pretty high, like above 8.5% for the crit and above 30% for the critical hit damage. I like getting a little bit of armor or all resist on it if it comes as a bonus, but you don't have to look for it. For your shoulders, just get your standard shoulders. Vile wards will do. For Vile wards, do a filter of 190 Dex, 70 Vite, and that's all you really need. And for your amulet, you want either a really high Dex one like mine, or a mediocre Dex one like 100 to 150 with average damage, high average damage, like 38 maybe. You want critical hit chance and high critical hit damage. I'd say 8.5 critical hit chance minimum and 70 critical hit damage minimum. For your bracers, you want a pair of high dex ones like mine, or you can opt for dex vite ones with all resist and critical hit chance. One thing I forgot to say about this, for an even higher budget Tempest Rush build than mine, you're probably going to want vite and all resist on this piece, because as you'll see later, it's really hard to get all resist on the rest of your gear. For your ring, you're going to want an all resist ring. I prefer above 70, but those are hard to find. There's also not that big of a selection when you look for them. You're going to want all resist vite on it, because it's hard to get vite on this set because you're restricted to 4-piece innas. You're also going to want high critical hit chance. I suggest above 5. You'll see why you really want critical hit chance later. For lower budgets, just opt out of getting critical hit damage. For the boots, you're going to want Zuni Masa's boots for a mid-tier up budget. And just look for a pair with 90 dex. And you might wonder why Zuni boots over Nat's 2-piece. It's because Nat's 2-piece, you have to use a Nat's ring, which gives you attack speed, and attack speed is bad. It eats up your spirit faster, and you won't be regenning as much spirit while you're Tempest Rushing. So that's why I like these. It also gives more damage alone. Now, you're going to want to use 4-piece in a set because of the 4-piece bonus. The reducing sweeping winds cost is huge. Since your sweeping winds cost 75 spirit and reducing it by 70, that means it only costs 5. So you basically refresh your sweeping winds for free. And that's important because you want to keep 3 stacks of your sweeping wind to get your spirit regen. So for your chest and pants, just get your standard chest pants. Stats don't really matter, just make sure your Innis pants are 8% attack speed. And when you move up budgets, you're going to want to get Vite on one of these 2 pieces and all resist on one of these 2 pieces. It doesn't matter which, because in the end they give the same equal number of stats. And then for your belt, just get any cheapo belt for a low budget, and for a higher budget get all resist. And for an even higher budget, get Dex all resist. Or not Dex all resist, Dex Vite roll on it in addition to whatever else it has. And for your Inna's Radiance, you're going to want 2+ spirit regen. This is important along with the SOJ. You want 2+ spirit to keep your spirit regen high, and then your goal is to have enough spirit regen so that while you're Tempest Rushing, you are not losing spirit but regenning spirit. So on low budgets, just don't look for armor or any mitigation. You won't be able to afford it. For mid-tier budgets, you can opt for armor. For even higher tier budgets, get 60 all resist with the same amount of spirit regen. because when you get that much all resist, it'll allow you to increase your DPS by dropping all resist on this piece. For your SOJ, for a low budget, don't worry about like any other bonuses besides Spirit Regen. Your only goal would be to get 2 plus Spirit Regen. And for a higher budget, obviously opt for elite damage before Wave of Light bonus. That's important because you want to increase your damage spread as much as possible to one-shot things with a higher percent chance. And let me go over the gem real quick. I like using the green gem because I don't only farm Voda. If I only farm Voda and try to one-shot things, I would get a ruby because a ruby increases the minimum damage that you will do. So it increases the likelihood that you will one-shot the elite mob. Alright, onto skills. Your primary ability is going to be Wave of Light. With the massive amount of spirit regen you'll have, you will barely need to use your spirit generator. And since you're going to be 1-2-shotting the elite mobs anyways, and then just Tempest rushing while regenning spirit, it's good. For your Tempest rush, you're going to want to be using Tailwind because move speed is very important for essence farming, since your main goal is to kill elites and run from elite pack to elite pack and skip trash. So you're going to spend the majority of your time running around. For my first skill, I use Blazing Wrath. This increases my damage by 15%, and which is really good because it increases your damage spread, which just more damage. It's good. For my primary ability, I use Thunderclap. I use Thunderclap because I don't use that much spirit, and I don't need spirit generation that often at this MP. So the only purpose of this is to stack my Sweeping Winds up to 3 stacks, so I get spirit regen. And since Fist of Thunder hits twice, that means I stack up my Inner Storm faster. And I just went over these two skills together, so I think you'll know. Sweeping Winds, you use Inner Storm because of the spirit regen. And for Mantra, you're going to want Mantra of Conviction with Overawe. You use this because it's the most damage out of all the Mantra of Convictions. However, if you are farming trash for EXP and whatnot, you might want to look into using Submission because it's really good for trash mobs because it deals damage per second when you're nearby. That's really personal preference though. Okay, so passives. I think Chant of Resonance, which is 2 spirit a second while your Mantra's active, and Guardian's Path are essential for this build. This increases your spirit regen by a lot because it's 35% out of all the spirit regen you have. Like with my Mantra active, I get 10 spirit. That's huge. Oh yeah, and there's a Templar that gives you spirit regen by 12%. So make sure to pick up your Templar. So then there's Fleet-Footed, which is also important since you're elite farming. You're going to be moving a lot, and that's increased move speed, so it's good. If you're just doing like legendary farming and Crypt of the Ancients or something, just get Exalted Soul because you're going to be spamming a lot more and regenning a lot less. Some people might want to change out Chant of Resonance for Exalted Soul, but I highly don't suggest that because you lose out on 1 spirit regen, and then that 1 spirit regen is amplified by 35% and another 12%, so don't even think about it. I tried both ways, and this way is far superior. So I average about 32 essence a run, or something like that, on MP5 and my gear. On a lower geared monk, maybe like 80k DPS on like MP1 or so, you should average about like 10 to 15 essences an hour, and that's faster than a lot of people farm essences on their main classes. So use this build to farm essence because it's really fucking fast. All right, let's do a timed run just to demonstrate this build. Let's get started. I start off in Black Canyon Mines because the elite density is random, but it's pretty good. All right, there's one. See, look, 3 elite packs right next to each other. 4. Wow, this could have been a quad pack. This is actually going to be pretty hard for me to do because there's bees. I might die. This is a little annoying. Oh my god, this is going to be a really slow run. Alright, there's all 3 down. So that's 4. Screw that, there's not going to be more than 4. Yeah, this is going to be a slow run because that got a little messy right there. Empowered Shrine. Empowered Shrines are your friend. Be really careful of those spinny guys, because those things hurt like hell. And with the Tempest Rush build, you're typically going to have pretty low all resist and a mediocre health pool. So you got to be really careful when they spin. There's my 6th pack. Notice I'm barely using my Thunderclap. It's working as intended. This pack is going to get a little dirty. 7th pack. I really hate the spinners. They hurt so much. Double pack. So 8 and 9. Packs 8 and 9 right here. Oh god. Please no. There's 10. Man, I'm really getting unlucky with these essences. There's 11. Will I get 12 in here? That would be really lucky if I got up to 12 before Road to Alcarnus. Oh wow, there's 12. Notice my spirit is going down now because my Sweeping Winds isn't 3-stacked. And then that's why I use Thunderclap. 1 attack got me to 3-stack. And now I'm regenerating spirit again. This is 13. I hate this part because it just adds to your runtime without you doing anything. Like, those things are going to charge me, so I have to go and kill them. And then, once you kill those, more things come at you. It's really ridiculous. Alright. Why am I not backing? Hello? Oh my god. Whatever. Stop my timer. So, in reality, this run was like 440. But I was just like running around doing stupid shit for a while. So, 440... What was it? 13 elite packs? And that pretty much goes along with my chart of my average. So on MP5 with my gear, I average about 5 minutes a run with 11.4 elites per run. I don't count goblins as elites. So it averages out to about 33 essence per hour. And since I don't count elites, and in 3 of these runs there are 3 elites, or 3 goblins, so my essence per hour is more like 34. So that's actually pretty good for MP5. In order to match this rate of demonic essence per hour, you would have to kill about 100 elites per hour on MP10. That's assuming MP10 is like a 33% drop rate, but it's actually more, so it's probably more around like 90 elites per hour, 80 to 90. And most people, no matter how geared they are not going to accomplish that. So that's the guide, and hope you build a Tempest Rush Monk and start demonic